Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Homework 1. So, in this homework, it's kind of unique because everybody gets a slightly different homework. So, even though we're going to have tabs that will be very similar down here at the bottom, they'll be slightly different. And that's done intentionally, but you can, I'll still go over my tabs just a little bit, just to give you a taste for how things are supposed to be solved. You'll also notice that the percentage that you need to unlock Scoreboard has gone up on the homework. So on the guided application it was 50%. On the homework it's 70%. Again, I'm trying to make things a little bit more challenging, try to wean you off Scoreboard. As good as it is, it's good to also just be thinking about stuff. All right, so we're going to highlight January and February and then carry that across. And by the way, sometimes it does give you hints, like I got plus 18%, so I definitely got that right. All right, and then total monthly sales is going to be equal sum for the month, and then carry that across. And I obviously got that right too because I'm up to 35%. So on these little sheets, you do get a lot of feedback. Then when you're totaling for these, you're going to total horizontally. And then for average sales per month, then instead of being a sum, this will be an average of those three numbers. All right, the economic order quantity, this is one that always trips people up. And it trips them up simply because people have a hard time looking at this formula and writing a function. So what ends up happening here is this ends up being equals square root. And then the function starts over parentheses, but we also have stuff in here that, if you think about it, would also sort of be in parentheses, numerator and parentheses divided by the denominator. So I'm actually going to do that, and I'll put 2 times S is this one, times D is this one. Close the parentheses for the numerator, then put a division symbol, and then that's divided by H here. Close the parentheses now for the whole square root function. All right, now this is the wrong answer. And the reason, in fact, we know that, right? Because I didn't get any points. But even if I copy this formula down, you'll see I still don't get any points. I know I've done something wrong. And the question is what? And what it says here is that you're supposed to round to the nearest whole number with zero decimal places using the round function, right? So that means I have to take everything that I already did, the square root, and wrap it in a round function. So right after the equal sign, I type the word round. Now I'm rounding this whole thing, and this whole thing is treated as just one big number. And then at the end of it, I put a comma because round requires a comma and then number of digits that I'm going to round to. I'm going to round to 0 digits. Oops. Type a 0, and then I'll close the round function. All right, now, I think that's right, but I don't really know because I didn't get enough points to trip it to the next. It kind of only tells you in quarterly increments. But if I double-click this one to copy the formula down, remember black cross, double-click, I do know I got something right because I'm at plus 18%. And the reason that I don't have all the points on this page is because I now have to do the multiple choice questions. And I also have to do these averages here. This division by 0 thing here, that was just sort of an extra cell that I did. I can just delete it. There was nothing being, I don't think there was anything being graded. Well, actually, no, I don't know. Maybe there was. Let me undo. Let's see if there was something being graded here. No, there was never anything being graded. So I'm fine just deleting that cell. Okay. Next one, family income. So here we're going to simply do totals for January. Total for January, so it's going to be a sum function, sum. You'll only have to do it once, and then you should be able to copy it across. Same thing here, totaling all these, do the function once, copy it across. Then the monthly net. Net is always calculated by income minus expenses, so you take this total minus that total, and that'll give you your net right here. That's not the hard part. The hard part is running total. And here you also see that sometimes with a cell that we consider kind of hard, we'll also put a hint in the cell. So this cell actually has a hint designed to help you decide whether or not you got the right answer. And the way that you do running total is kind of interesting. I mean, there's different ways to do it in Excel, but the way that we'll do it is we'll put equals, and for the first month, it's actually going to be this guy right here. That's how you're going to get the running total. Obviously, this is wrong so far because I don't have anything here. But then for the second guy, this is where it gets interesting. This is the part this is kind of the whole reason to watch this, is it's going to be equal to the previous month plus the total above. And then that pattern, once you get that and hit enter, then if you copy that pattern across by dragging the little black arrowhead, it should give you the right running total. Oops. All right. Let's go to the sort. So sort we did before. Please sort the table by total $1 million in descending order. And remember, as I mentioned before, simply click inside of it, go to data, go to sort, and then answer appropriately. Here's another one, same thing. Go here, click sort, answer appropriately. Then you get a 2-level sort. So that was 1 level. The 2-level sort, you click here, click sort. You do the first level, then hit the plus sign, and then get the 2nd level sort. Same thing here. Click in here, click sort. Do the first level, hit the plus sign, and then do the 2nd level. When I say first and 2nd level, you can see what I'm talking about, because it says first by expert training descending, then by compounded fuel economy descending. And remember, always get the order right, ascending to descending, or it won't match and you won't get the points. Then you have an assignment on filter. So here you're filtering. Very similar, you click inside the table, instead of hitting the sort, you hit the filter, and then you hit the drop down arrow. This is on billion kilowatt hours. So the first filter starts here, so click here, and then pick the condition, greater than or equal to, here, and then put the value that it's greater than or equal to. And then it says you have to filter by a second condition, which is this column here, the total, also has a filter applied, which is greater than, not greater than or equal to, but just greater than. So pick greater than for that one. And that's the only one on the page. And then on this page, you do a sort and filter. Make sure when you have a sort and filter together, you always do the sort before you do the filter. You can't do it in any other order. Fantastic. Well, good luck with this one as well. Remember, when you finish, save your file and then upload it to the appropriate Dropbox on ISMS.